You see, with 1821, the safety net for this principle of choosing to believe is that if it doesn't bring an improvement as you see it, then you stop doing it. Which means you then have a life that's no worse than before because you didn't believe before and you still don't. But if, on the other hand, choosing to believe you find is an improvement, then of course you continue doing it. So the principle is valid. That you choose to believe and find out if it works. If it doesn't work, then you'll drop back to your old set of beliefs that didn't include God. And of course you'll see a contrast of consequence. Or you don't. In which case you carry on the same as before, you've lost nothing. Oh, a little while you tried, trusting God. So it's taste and see, isn't it? And from my point of view, you see, from God's point of view, if you drop back into not believing, then you drop back into the learning situation. And that at times is hard going. But fortunately the times vanish into the past. As such, change your beliefs to something more successful as regards bringing happiness and fulfillment of life. You see, life to survive is given that drive to survive. The valuation of life as primary. Basically the living avoid death at all costs. Good. Because life is God. In other words, it's built into you that you value the very essence of God because you're alive, and you wouldn't continue to be alive very long if you didn't value it. And indeed we see this, don't we? The reckless, the people that take absurd risks tend to die as a consequence. They don't value life as much as others, perhaps, and they tend to lose it quite quickly. So it's a Pareto principle in the background, you see, that's operating. That if you value life, then you tend to choose a God that personifies what you value. And if you don't, you've lost nothing, you're still here learning that the values you have bring the consequences that they do have. If you value death, then that's what tends to start to come to you. Catastrophe and accident and injury and illness, which has its own way of making you long for fullness of life and goodness again. It's a wonderful system. It's a fantastic universe. And the mistakes and troubles that you go through, in a world of that everything being transitory, as it seems at least, has it that all such drift into the past, and all you do in the present is have the values that you now have, and exercise your learning accordingly. Wow. Of course, as regards does practicing godliness lead to more godliness and more success? Well, the answer is that means, if godliness is life, that practicing godliness tends to bring fuller life. And that's indeed what the Jesus story preaches, doesn't it? I'm come that you might have life, and have it more abundantly. And indeed, life eternal, a very good life, heavenly life, not a life constantly forever battling with the contrasts of good and evil that are there in the classroom to teach you what is good, that you might follow such and graduate. So we say thank you, Heavenly Father, for this amazing universe, and your love and kindness in both providing it and loving and caring for us through it, through our childhood, into an eternal being with you. And as I hold it eternal in the past, present, and into the future, why would you hold anything else? So our loyalty and love to God grows with our experience here.